Good morning and welcome to the chemistry lecture. And now I will explain you the water system. Here, all of you know, water system is a one component system and the total number of phases that are in equilibrium, and that phases are 3 at the triple point. Last time I have explained it. And this is the phase diagram of water system. You know, the phase diagram, it consists of areas, then curves and triple point. And explanation of the areas, curves and triple point, that means the explanation of that system. Here, this is the phase diagram of water system. And phase diagram, it is the graph of pressure versus temperature. And here there are three regions, AOC. This is the AOC region or area, and in this area water has a stable existence. The region or area AOC. In this area, liquid phase, it has a stable existence. Then to specify any point in this area, we have to mention the pressure as well as its temperature. That means areas are bivariant as we fix two variables, pressure and temperature, and we come across with the same conclusion. That means by the use of Gibbs phase rule in the region, here we have F, it is equal to 2. Then this area BOC area, in this area I is phase, it has a stable existence. Again, by the application of phase rule, this area is also bivariant, and the area below the points A, O, B, here in this area water vapor has a stable existence as it is shown in this diagram. And again, this area, it is also a bivariant system. Here we have explained three regions, and remember that in the area there is a single phase, it has a stable existence. In the area only one phase has stable existence. So the areas are bivariant system in the phase diagram. Then we will see the curves. Here in this diagram there are four curves. The first curve, it is OA curve, and along this OA curve two phases are in equilibrium. Here liquid, it is in equilibrium with its vapor, and this curve, it is called as vaporization curve or vapor pressure curve. And as temperature increases, the vapor pressure also increases. It is shown with this curve OA. Along this curve, two phases are in equilibrium, and again by the use of phase rule, the curves are univariant. That means if we put F, it is equal to C means 1 minus number of phases 2. 1 minus 2 plus 2, and it is equal to 1. Therefore, the curves are univariant. Then see this OB curve, OB, and the name of this curve is sublimation curve because here the ice and water vapor, it is in equilibrium. Here the conversion of solid state into gaseous state. this is the sublimation. For example, all of you know camphor. Here camphor solid, it will directly get converted into vapor or gas state. No liquid state is there, and such curve, such a phenomenon, it is called as sublimation. Along this curve OB, two phases are in equilibrium, ice and gaseous phase or water vapor phase. Again this curve is univariant, and the last curve here OC curve, and this OC curve, it is called as freezing point curve of water or melting point curve of ice. You know, and along this curve two phases are in equilibrium. Ice, it is in equilibrium with liquid water, and again this curve is univariant. That means if we fix either pressure, temperature, it will get automatically fixed. So curves are univariant. And see this dotted curve, it is the metastable sublimation curve. That means at this O point we have three phases in equilibrium. Here ice phase, here it is liquid phase, and here it is vapor phase. And at this point O, we have a three phases. That means if we pull this water carefully, we can have this point A dash, and at A dash point we have a super cooled water. That means the water at minus 5 degrees centigrade, 4 degrees centigrade, whatever. That means the water at below its freezing temperature only we can have by careful cooling. And remember that in a phase diagram the metastable curves, they are denoted by a dotted line. Here this O A dash curve, it is a metastable sublimation curve or metastable vapor pressure curve. Here along this O A dash, two phases are in equilibrium. Here ice, it is in equilibrium with its vapor, and this is the explanation of water system. I repeat once again, the water system, it is a one component system, and all the phases involved in the water system, they can be explained or composition of all these three phases, ice, water and water vapor, it is explained with the one constituent, and that chemical constituent, it is the water itself. So water system, it is a one component system, and maximum number of phases that are in equilibrium at a one point, and that number of phases are three, ice, water and water vapor. And you know, at the O point, this point is termed as triple point, and at this triple point three phases are in equilibrium and the degree of freedom is 0. And here this is a critical point. A point, it is a critical point. Above this point, water liquid phase, it has no existence. That means water, it will get converted into vapor phase. So this A point, it is termed as a critical point. And again, critical point, it is the temperature at which one phase, here water phase, vanishes and we will have a vapor phase. Okay, then see, this is the phase diagram of water system. Here this is one O point, it is termed as triple point. This A point, it is a critical point. Then here it is a C point and here it is a B point. Here in this area B, AOC, we have stable existence for ice phase. In this area AOC, we have liquid phase, have stable existence, and below the points B, O, A, we have vapor phase. And remember that these areas are bivariant system, and bivariant system means we have to mention the two variables. Here along this axis we have pressure, and along this axis we have temperature. So to fix any point in the any area we need two variables. So in the phase diagram the areas are bivariant systems. Then along this curve OC, two phases are in equilibrium. Here solid, it is in equilibrium with liquid. That means ice, it is in equilibrium with liquid. And this OC curve, it is termed as freezing curve of water or melting point curve of ice. Then this OA curve, it is the vaporization curve. That means this liquid, it will get converted into vapor. And you know, as temperature increases, the vapor pressure also increases. And see here, this OC curve, it is inclined towards the pressure axis. And it shows that as we increase the pressure, the temperature, it slowly decreases. Temperature of the system, it is so slowly decreases. There is no rapid decrease in the temperature when we increase the pressure. That means this curve, it is inclined towards the pressure axis. The volume of ice, it is not compressed easily, and temperature, it will slowly decreases. Then here OB curve, it is a sublimation curve. The conversion of solid into vapor takes place, and this OB dash, here it is not shown with dotted points, though it is a metastable curve. That means here we have a supercooled liquid, and this is the explanation of water system, and this is the phase diagram of water system. Here curve OC, the fusion curve of ice, and it depicts the effect of pressure on the melting point of ice. Here ice and water coexist in equilibrium. The OC slope to the left indicates the melting point of ice decreases with increase of pressure. Along the curve OA, OB, OC, there are two phases in equilibrium, and it is a one component system. So by application of phase rule, here F, it is equal to C minus P plus 2. We have number of components C value as a 1. Along the curves, number of phases are 2 and plus 2. That means plus 2 minus 2, they becomes 0, and we have F, it is equal to 1. Hence each two phase system, water vapor represented by OA curve, then ice water vapor represented by OB curve, and ice water represented by OC curve has 1 degree of freedom, or it is a monovariant or a univariant. So the curves in the phase diagram, they are univariant system. Then see here, metastable system or supercooled water, it is in equilibrium with vapor. Here the vapor curve AO can be continued beyond the triple point O as shown by the dashed line OA dash, and that is water can be supercooled. That is water can be supercooled. Here the supercooled water supercooled water and water vapor system is a metastable, that means unstable system, and it at once refers to the stable system. Ice and vapor on the slightest disturbance or introducing a crystal of ice. This is the water system. Then the another system for your study, that is the sulfur system, and the number of phases that are involved in the sulfur phases, they are 4 phases, and as the composition of all 4 phases it is explained with the help of sulfur itself, so it is a one component system. Here the second one component system for your syllabus, it is the sulfur system, and remember that it is also one component system. That means the value of C, it is equal to 1, and the maximum number of phases in sulfur system, they are 4 phases, and the 4 phases involved in the sulfur system, they are rhombic sulfur, then monoclinic sulfur, and these two forms are different solids structures. That means the rhombic sulfur, it has a different structure than the monoclinic sulfur, and remember that the two solids having different spatial arrangement, they constitute two separate phases. That means here sulfur, it has two different solid forms, and remember that at temperature one solid form, it will get converted into another solid form, and this phenomenon, it is called as polymorphism, and the temperature at which this change takes place, it is called as transition temperature. That means here rhombic sulfur SR, it is converted into monoclinic sulfur at temperature, and that temperature is 95.5. This temperature is the transition temperature. Then the next phase, that is the sulfur liquid, and the next phase, that is the sulfur vapor. Here the 4 phases of sulfur are solid form rhombic sulfur, then another solid form monoclinic sulfur, then sulfur liquid and sulfur vapor. All the 4 phases can be represented by only a chemical individual sulfur itself, and hence it is a one component system. That means the composition of all these phases, it is explained by using one component, and that one component, it is sulfur only. So the sulfur system, it is also example of one component system. Then the two crystalline forms of sulfur rhombic and sulfur monoclinic exhibit enantiotropy with a transition point here 95.6 degree centigrade temperature. Below this temperature, rhombic sulfur is stable. Below this temperature, rhombic sulfur is a stable, while above this transition temperature, monoclinic sulfur is stable. At 95.6 degrees centigrade, each form can be gradually transferred to the other and the two are in equilibrium. At 120 degrees centigrade, monoclinic sulfur, it melts. So here the rhombic sulfur at temperature 95.6 degrees centigrade, it will get converted into monoclinic sulfur, and this monoclinic sulfur at temperature 120 degrees centigrade, it will get converted into sulfur liquid. Then this is the phase diagram of sulfur system. Here there are four areas, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Though the phase diagram of sulfur system, it is represented by this figure here. Again, this phase diagram of sulfur, it contains areas, then curves, then triple points. Here the phase diagram for the sulfur system is shown in this diagram. The 6 curves in this diagram are AB curve, BC curve, CD curve, then this is the BG curve, here it is CG curve, and this is a BF and CF curve. Here the 6 curves are AB curve, BC curve, CD curve, BE curve, CE and EG curve. This one is a EG curve. The triple points are here B, it is a triple point, then C, it is a triple point, and here E, it is a triple point. And triple point means at these 3 points B, C and E, 3 phases are in equilibrium. So triple points are invariant system here, and there are 4 regions. The region represented by the points A, B, G. Here rhombic sulfur solid phase, it has stable existence. Then the points B, E, C, there are monoclinic sulfur has a stable existence. Then G, E, C, D, here sulfur liquid, it has stable existence, and these points A, B, C, D. Below these points A, B, C, D, sulfur vapor, it has stable existence. And already as you have learned in the water system, the areas are bivariant system. That means to mention any point in the area, we have to state, we have to explain, we have to fix 2 variables, pressure as well as temperature. Okay, then let us now proceed to discuss the significance of these features. The curves AB, BC, CD, BE, CE and EG. These 6 curves divide the diagram into 4 areas. The curve AB, the vapor pressure curve of sulfur rhombic. The curve AB, it is a vapor pressure curve of sulfur rhombic. And along this curve AB, 2 phases are in equilibrium, sulfur vapor and rhombic sulfur. Then it shows the vapor pressure of solid rhombic sulfur. Along this curve, the 2 phases are in equilibrium. Sulfur rhombic and sulfur vapor are in equilibrium. The system has 1 degree of freedom. And again, by the application of phase rule, we arrive at the same conclusion. Similar is true for with other curves. Here, along this curve, B, E, two phases are in equilibrium. Here, rhombic sulfur and monoclinic sulfur. And this curve, it is a transition curve. Or along this curve, two phases, two solid forms are in equilibrium. Then along this curve, CE, two phases are in equilibrium. Monoclinic sulfur, it get converted into sulfur liquid. Then along the CD curve, two phases are in equilibrium. Liquid sulfur, it is in equilibrium with sulfur vapor. So all these curves are unified systems. Here again, up till now you have studied the Gibbs phase rule, and this is the photograph of the Joseph Willard Gibbs. In 1875, the Gibbs published a general principle governing system in a thermodynamic equilibrium called the phase rule, and mathematically it is explained with P plus F, it is equal to C plus 2, where P is the number of phases, F number of degrees of freedom, C number of component of the system, and 2 represents the two variables, that means pressure and temperature. Here the definition of phase, it is a chemically uniform, that means homogeneous, physically distinct, and a mechanically separable portion. Then the component, minimum number of independent species necessary to define the composition of all phases of the system. Then the degree of freedom, it is the minimum number of intensive variable, that means either pressure, temperature are independent of each other, or the thermodynamic variables which can be specified independently without changing the phases in the equilibrium. That is the degree of freedom. And after studying the one component system with this phase rule, P plus F, it is equal to C plus 2, where these two means two variables, pressure and temperature. After the one component system, your next point to study, that is the two component systems, that is the binary phase diagrams. And pressure is a constant, therefore the phase rule becomes here P plus F, it is equal to C plus 2. Remember, in case of binary system or two component system, that is solid liquid equilibria, the pressure variable, it is kept constant. That's why the phase rule, it is given as P plus F, it is equal to C plus 2. Later on I will explain you the two component systems in detail.